Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the NoDream podcast. We got
your boy Kobe.
It's me, Jonathan, aka Stanky Long. The mic just fell.
I'm destroying everything.
But yeah, guys, welcome back to another episode of the NoDream podcast. I think we got a pretty good subject for today. It's kind of relevant. They always are relevant. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So Kobe's the one who came with this whole topic.
So the topic is basically maturity and life experiences, just like our transition from when we were younger, and then we realize that we have to start taking on more responsibility. Obviously there's different age limit. There's different ages that come with that, but I would say probably the biggest gap is maybe high school to college or something. Because that's when you get to the age where you have your own personal life kind of. Your own place that you're at, your own house, and you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, they really
just the stage of life where those kind of things happen.
Kind of toss you into the real world and
Yep.
And then it happens, and you're like, alright.
I mean, yeah, it's weird because I was thinking about, what exactly separates me from being an adult and being a youth or a child or that sort of thing. Because the kids at church, one of them, he calls me sir, and I'm I don't know if I'm he's in middle school, I think, and I'm okay, I'm technically not a sir to you, but I understand we're in the South and all that, manners and stuff, but I was just thinking about, wow, when did I become a sir?
Yeah.
And then the kids at iGroups last week, I don't know if they were joking or not, but they're yeah, you guys are mature. We thought they thought we were younger than we actually were. And they're dang, you guys are mature for your age.
Oh yeah, they did that.
Yeah, they did say
dang.
So, am I mature?
Especially me. They were saying how much mature I was, bro.
Yeah, they're dang, Kobe is so mature.
For real, bro. They were talking about how childish James acts.
Yeah. They're talking about how brave
and then
Kobe
James
is.
Proceeded to play fight with somebody too.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
I put my sleeves inside of my hoodie and fought with my brother Judah.
Bro, you gotta stop doing that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I guess I do.
I see.
You know exactly what
that's average James.
Is that that's on brand for me?
That's pretty much just James.
Yeah, that's just me.
That's just how he is. I mean,
I'm playful, you know.
You know.
It's kind of a weird word to use.
Yeah. What the heck?
I'm playful.
I'm playful.
You a toy, my boy?
On a podcast on maturity, you're talking about playfulness.
You a toy?
What are you playing with?
I'm playing with nothing of the world. But yeah, it's weird to think that so I think about this all the time. I'm 20 now, and it feels so much has happened in my life already. I've already begun to forget stuff from when I was a little kid, and I'm dang, my brain is full. You expect me to cram more stuff in here?
Right.
I don't know.
I be remembering now that I think about it, as I get older, I start remembering random things I didn't even remember.
Oh yeah.
I'll be what? I didn't even remember that came up. Just all the way back in elementary school.
Oh yeah.
I remember I used to like this one girl. It's really specific. This one girl who
She had blonde hair.
Yeah, she did. And her name was Cheyenne.
Yeah, Cheyenne. I know Cheyenne.
What? What do you mean?
I remember the story.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, I used to like her. I remember that. That was a weird memory.
You can hear that on our last Valentine's
I think the only reason I liked her,
Yeah.
I think the only reason I liked her was because she was really fast or something.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
That's all that it required. I remember I had a crush on a girl in elementary school just because she was taller than everyone. I was like, dang, she's tall.
Whoa.
It's just
yeah.
attractive.
I was like, wow.
It's just weird.
She's so tall.
Yeah.
I don't know where that girl is now.
But
Interesting.
yeah, it's strange to think that I don't know, people change so much, and things change so fast too. We talked about this before, we actually started the podcast, but it's weird to see all the people you grew up with getting married and starting families, becoming parents and stuff.
Yep. It's really weird. I went to this concert, a talent show at Morgan's school, and it's kind of weird because everybody in our house, we've all been to the same elementary school, so we all see the same teachers. So I went to Quell Run in 3rd grade. Caleb went to Quell Run, Judah, and now Morgan's there. So like when I went there, like we like saw like all these teachers, and it like brought so many memories. Cause like it was like literally the same teachers that have been there since I've been at that school. And that's like almost like 14 years. I was like, what the heck? Like I saw like my old teacher, Miss DeLeon.
Hey.
Like it brought like they kind of still look the same too. Like, it brought like a lot of memories. I was like, dang. And I saw like her son too, cause like we were in the same class. Like he like changed a lot. And like we like shook hands. I was like, hey. I was like, oh, what's up, bro? Like his name was Kyle. I was like, dang. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, at what point did you guys think, like, alright, I'm mature? Or, like, have you ever reached a point where you're like, this is it, like, I'm an adult?
Actually, honestly, no. I don't think, like, mentally, I've, like, reached that point where I'm like, I don't think I've reached a point where, like, my mentality has changed from, like, how I was to how I am now. I think maybe, like, physically things have definitely changed. Like, I, like, actively have to, like, do things a different way. I don't think my mind changed, though. Because, like, I would say, like, I would say as long as I'm just, like, by myself and, like, don't have somebody else responsible for it, like a kid or something, but, like, most of the time, I would say, like, my mind's probably going to be the same. I think, like, the kind of things, like, I like or value are probably going to be the same.
Yeah.
I don't think it would change that drastic unless I, like, became a dad or something. Or, like, got in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think, I've changed a lot. Like, stuff that used to matter to me a lot doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That's the main thing that kind of changes. Like,
oh, yeah, that is true.
You kind of just realize you're, like, something that, like, seemed like the biggest deal in the world when you were, like, back in high school. Now it's, like, whatever.
Yeah, I can care. Why did I care so much?
It does not matter. Like, I don't know why I cared about that. That's one of the biggest things. And I don't know if that's maturity necessarily.
Yeah, I would say that.
But, like, yeah. Because I don't know. Like, yeah, I've changed a lot, like, as far as that and, like, just how I think and in general, you know, like, just in terms of, like, yeah, just, like, caring about stuff. It'd be, like, I don't know, it'd, like, back in high school, I'd get, like, it'd get some sort of, like, rise or emotion out of me, like, for that, like, situation to happen. But now it's just, like, I'm just, like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more understanding, too, I feel. Like, I probably would have judged people a lot more, like, back in high school, like, if someone does something crazy. But then I'm, like, you know, I think back to my experiences in high school and stuff that I did that was, like, super embarrassing. And I'm just, like, I'm even, like, kind of more forgiving of myself because I can be, like, I remember at that time, like, I might have been, like, depressed or something. And I'm, like, you know, the me at that time, you know, was going through some stuff. And maybe, you know, so I feel like, you know, it was just kind of an extension of that. And I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think I would say for me, it is kind of the same, too. Because, like, my mentality in high school was definitely a lot different than it is.
Right.
I'm sure everybody's is, too. Like, I would, like, for some reason, like, when I was in high school, I would, like, put people that I saw, like, on a higher pedestal for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, like, have the mindset to, like, you know, I didn't put, like, honestly, like, I'm still not, like, that confident of a person, but, like, my confidence was, like, super low.
Yeah.
Like, I, like, lowered myself, like, under everybody. Yeah. Like, I always put everybody higher than me. Like, every time I would, like, see somebody, I would, like, kind of, like, compare myself to them and, like, determine, like, whether, like, I was, like, you know, I should decided to talk to that person. Like, it was, like, really weird. And now, and then, like, every now and then, like, not saying, like, I'm like that now, because, like, I would say my mentality is definitely different. But, like, every now and then, like, things like that and other things that I didn't really bring up, but, like, things like that, sometimes, like, it's, like, it, like, creeps in. Like, now I'm like, what the heck? I was not thinking like that.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing that no more.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I
don't be thinking like that no more. But.
Low self-esteem, like, my problems with that in high school, it was all, like, I'd be hanging out with people, and because I had low self-esteem, I would think lower of myself, and I was, like, I would see, like, how people interact with me, and I'd, like, read too much into it and be like, oh, I don't think they like me, and it's because I suck, basically. And, like, I thought, like, you know, like, all my friends, I was like, they're not really my friends. Like, they're just, like, it's just kind of like a convenience thing. I'm just around, you know. They wouldn't hang out with me outside of anything, or I had issues with that, like, dealing with that, you know. It was a really, like, depressing, like, time, but it's just, like, as I got older and went through high school, it mattered less. Like, I'd say, like, the peak of it was, like, junior year. I was really feeling that, but then it's, like, after I kind of went through the motions of that, I was just, like, I'm just, like, I understood it was just, I have low self-esteem, like, that's the only reason this is happening. I'm just reading too far into it because I feel like I'm lesser.
Junior year I would definitely say it was the peak. Well, no, actually I would say sophomore. Because I was like actually like my first year in high school. Like I didn't have like any connections either. And, like for me, I would say like I flourish the most when I'm like around like a group of people and like I'm hanging out with them.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I can be myself more. Like when I'm by myself, I'm just gonna be chilling. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to like talk to people or do stuff like that. So like in 10th grade, like I didn't have anybody. So I was like actively trying to find something to like plug into. And I just found like the first group of people that like seemed easy to fit in with, and I just sat there and I like hung out with them. But like there was really no like good friendship. Then like junior year, that's when like me and James started hanging out. Then we were just like, oh, alright, it's pretty cool. And we started hanging out all the time.
Yeah.
What about you? I
will say, I agree with both of you. But what you said, John, about like the whole like you said you had like a bad. It wasn't like a problem with confidence, but like whenever you're around people, you were like, oh man, like maybe they're only hanging out with me because they like me. Or Kobe even mentioned it with like comparing yourself to other people. But with age does come confidence. But like it's weird because like recently I've been in this space where like stuff that didn't bother me when I was little, like it's like coming out and like I've gotten over it. Like I've gotten past like the mental blocks that I had, like the trauma and that sort of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm past it. And then like out of nowhere it'll like come back and slap me again. Yeah. And I'm like, I thought I dealt with that. Why are you back? And like, this is gonna sound weird, but growing up, I always had like this concept in my head of like the ultimate me, like the best version of myself. Yeah. So like I would like take a step that required me to mature a little bit, and I'd be like, all right, this is as good as I can get. This is like the ultimate me. Like I'm never gonna change from this. And then I find out, oh, I have a lot more learning and growing to do. And then it'll continue. And like now, I've kind of gotten rid of that idea because I've learned that I'm never going to be like the best me that I can be, because that's an ongoing process. But I think I've grown to be kind of, I don't want to use the word satisfied, but I've grown to be okay with like who I am now, because it's going to change. So why hate yourself when, you know, you'll be different? Give it a couple months, couple days, couple weeks. Yeah. That sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Also, recently, I started like, I don't know what it is, but like, I started feeling like there's no substance to me, I guess. Like there's no, what is it? There's no depth. Like it comes off as like a shallow kind of person. Like there's no like, I don't know how to put this.
Actually, now that I think about it, after talking about this topic, like today, like those same kind of like mentality, that same mentality did creep into my head. Cause like, you know, working at where I work at, like, we're always around people, so like you have to communicate and talk to people. But like me, I'm just like, you know, when I'm by myself, I still don't know everybody, so like I'm not gonna go out of my way. Yeah. And like this one girl was talking to me, and like she brought up how like I was quiet, and like I hate when people tell me that. Like it always brings me back to like that same high school mentality. Cause like everybody told me that all the time. Yeah. Yeah. And, like I guess like, I don't know, like whenever people tell you like the same thing over and over again, like even if it's like not true about yourself, like people telling you that, like it kind of like defines who you are a little bit. And like I have to like tell myself that all the time, that like that's not gonna define me, and it's not even a bad thing. Like if you're quiet, that's who you are. Yeah. Like I'm just gonna be myself. But like I feel bad sometimes because, you know, I don't want to be that one person always like in the background, like never talking to somebody. Like I don't want people to think about me that kind of way. So like it did kind of get to me today. But like, I don't know. Then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be me. Like that's how I am. Like if you talk to me, then I'll talk to you. And that's just that's the kind of person I am. Like some days, like I'll go out of my way and talk to you, but like I don't know. That's just how I've always kind of been. I was actually not always kind of been, but like that's how like my characters like kind of developed from like when I was younger to like who I am now. Yeah. Yep.
I kind of get with like the whole like shallow interactions things that James was talking about. Like I feel that too, where like, but I think it comes down to like it's just the people that I'm around all the time. I don't feel like I'm around people like where I can go deeper with them as often as I should be. And so like it creates this situation where every time I have a conversation, it's like this weird acquaintance, and it's like I don't know how to vibe with them really.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like having like this kind of small talk that I don't care about.
Yeah.
And it's like
sometimes I feel like people like, I don't know, they might cling to people like that because they don't even want to like go deeper.
Yeah.
Like they just like surround themselves with people like who they know aren't gonna like go deep with them. So like they just, that's like, I think I'm like the complete opposite. Like I like I think like when I see people like that, like I like notice that kind of thing. Like I don't really like hanging out with people like that.
Yeah, when I mentioned the whole like no substance to me kind of thing, it's like when I'm alone, right? I kind of think I'm like a boring person. Like
yeah, I feel the same.
Like all of the things that make up me are like influences that have impacted me throughout my life. So my mom, like the shows I've watched, the music I enjoy. But like what is me? You know, like who am I? Like if somebody's gonna like fall for me or like be my friends, like do they like I've always had this thing, like we're talking about depth of relationships, right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't get in depth with your friendships, you guys like you don't like each other, you just kind of like do the same things and like the feeling that other person produces, but like you don't like them like as a person if like you're just staying shallow and not going deeper. So yeah, as I've gotten older, like I've noticed that like it's a lot harder to maintain like those deeper relationships because one, time obviously, but two, you already mentioned it, Kobe, like a lot of people just don't want to do it.
I think it's like what you're saying. Like I definitely had that mentality. Well, like I'm like contemplating like why I like the things I like, and I'm like, do I just like this because somebody else likes it or something? Like, do I like this because James told me to watch this? Or like, do I I hate making decisions based off like what somebody else has liked or something. But like then I have to like come back to, I guess like the thought of like, you know, everybody's ideas or like the things they like isn't just theirs. Like everything, it's everybody's. Like I shouldn't like just define that based off what somebody else likes.
Yeah, that's true.
That definitely is like something that I've struggled with before too.
Yeah,
and I'll say like even when people like have relationships, like obviously it starts with them liking the things about you that define you, but then like as you grow together, like what makes it its best and at its peak is kind of like, you know, just sharing the things that you like together.
Yeah.
So I don't think like the main things that you just like are gonna like, you know, hold the foundation for like a relationship. I don't know.
Yeah. You got some on that, John? Or?
I mean, not really.
Right.
Yeah. One thing I will say is like about like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like when I'm alone, I feel more myself a lot of times, and it's just because I feel like, you know, I understand myself best.
Yeah.
So when I'm like thinking on a subject alone without anyone's presence, or like, you know, just kind of like going into something and like exploring my feelings within it, it's like so much more clear, and it's like it feels like my real feelings. And I always have like an issue with expressing that to someone. It's like I tried to say the right words, but it's like if I'm kind of like just in the moment with them, and it's like it's just so much more harder. And it's like I'll say stuff and I know what I mean, but it's just like it just doesn't get there. And it's like I feel like, oh, I'm giving them something that isn't me.
Yeah.
And that sucks, because like this isn't how I truly feel.
Yeah,
but
you're
it's just
trying
like
your
I can't just. There's just something that's keeping me from like expressing this the right way, because we're different people, of course, and we interpret things differently.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's weird.
So
let's say I'm definitely like the complete opposite. Like as y'all know, like I've grown up like always being surrounded by family. So like as soon as like I moved out, like I don't know, it was just hard for me.
Yeah.
Like just like going by myself. Like anytime like it comes to the end of my day, like automatically my mind just wants to go back home. Like when I like drive by myself like back to my house, like I don't know. It's just like, to me it's like kind of dangerous for me to be alone. Cause like I've never like been alone by myself all the time. And like when I think like for me when I'm by myself, like I lower my confidence like too much. Like I just think about like the failures that I've done. Like I set like a goal for like me to do the next day, and like when I think about the things I haven't accomplished or like the things I have left to do, like I just always constantly beat myself up. Then like I like have like high standards for like what I want to do for like my parents or something, and just stuff like that. And like every time I'm alone, like those thoughts are like constantly like swirling around. But then like when I get like with my family, like I don't know, like my mind kind of like alters away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad you brought that back up, cause I hate to bring this back up, but Evangelion, yeah boy,
This man loves that.
I love it. But I think you've seen it, John.
Yeah,
Like,
I watched it a while ago.
Yeah, I relate to Shinji like heavily, but he said this one line about like, no, he had this idea that like everybody hated him, like for some reason, and like the characters flat out saying nobody hates you. You've just told yourself that so many times, and like growing up, like I remember I told myself that like people hated me, like, and I realize now that was because like I hated myself. Like Kobe mentioned, like all the things that you failed at, or like where you messed up. Like I see that in myself, and I hate myself because of that. And like I don't know, like when I was younger, it wasn't really that much of a problem, but I think I struggle with the hating myself thing now, like more than I ever did. Cause like last night I had to speak Wednesday, and there's always like after you get up and like give like a big speech. Like, there's always a small element afterward of, like, did they understand what I was saying?
Yeah.
But, like, yesterday it was more of, like, dang, I didn't do that as well as I could have. Why didn't I do that, like, as well as I could have? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, this whole self-hatred thing. So I guess all this goes to show that, like, even though you get older, like, maturity doesn't mean, like, not having like problems or like not struggling with things, because like that's not gonna go away. So what would you say maturity is?
That's a good question.
Because I mean, I don't think maturity is rooted in physical stuff. I mean, that's a part of it, but like I've seen young kids hold jobs and like do some of the things adults do.
I think I would say maturity is like understanding like the emotions that you experience and like being able to explain like why like you like thought that way. I think because like then, like, if you're in high school, like, you're, like, in that moment then, and, like, you don't really understand, like, why you're like that. But then when you mature, like, you, like, kind of think about it, you're like, oh, okay, that's why I was acting like that.
Why.
Like, there's probably, like, reasons, and then, like, you know the solution. And then, like, your brain I would say, like, you, like, come to an understanding of, like, why you feel that way, and, like, why it's not important anymore.
Why you operate the way you do. Like, you kind of begin to get it. And then maybe change it.
And even if it doesn't change, like, you might still struggle with it, but, like, I would say maturity is maybe, like, you understand it more. I don't know.
I think also, like, a part of that, like, I'd say that's kind of it, and then also kind of having the understanding that sometimes you will feel a certain way, and you won't know why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't understand, right? And, yeah, I think that also comes back to, like, the whole thing with being, like, able to, like, empathize with people better and, like, understand people's, like, situations better as you understand that you yourself don't always know, like, why is this happening? So, like, you can kind of, like, look at someone else's situation and it's like, well, maybe they just don't understand, like, you know.
I feel like a part of growing up is, like, learning to get outside of yourself. Like, for me, it's like growing up, I was alone. Like, I was kind of like, actually, I say I lean more to your side, John. Mm-hmm. Like, I can thrive when I'm alone, but I can also, like, thrive when I'm around people, too. So, like, I've always been in this state of confusion, because growing up, I didn't have, like, any friends. I was alone for a long time. Yeah. And then when I moved into Kobe's neighborhood, that's when I started becoming, like, that outgoing person. So, like, early part of my life, I was like you, John. And then the second part, I was like you, Kobe. And then now, I kind of found, like, a balanced mixture of both, I guess. Yeah. Like, I still lean a little bit more towards, like, the solitary side. But, like, getting outside of yourself. Like, I was stuck in my head for so long as a kid. Like, because I didn't have anybody else to talk to. So, like, I would just let, like, all the bad things I've done, like, all the things I found, like, imperfect about myself, I just say them repeatedly over to myself, over and over and over on replay. And, like, I'd always think about, like, all these things that I really didn't require that much thought for. And then now that I've gotten older, like you talked about, John, I realize some things aren't that big a deal. I'm not going to understand myself completely because nobody else can. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Like, just because you can't completely understand somebody doesn't mean you shouldn't attempt to do that. So, yeah, I think, like maturing is realizing that like, I don't know. Yeah, this is all connecting because we talked about deep and shallow relationships too, but it's understanding that like getting to know people, like it's gonna hurt sometimes, and like you may begin to doubt yourself and question yourself and all these other things. But, like it's important that you're able to move past that and go, okay, sometimes life hurts, and that's just how it is. But just because life hurts doesn't mean my outlook on it's gonna change. That doesn't mean I'm gonna get down and depressed and like isolate myself completely.
Yeah. I will say something that's been like, it's not like a quote or anything, but like something that's really been like sticking out to me now is like, even like when things are uncomfortable, like you have to like keep like pushing through that. That's something like I've like kind of like been stuck in my head for like a minute.
Good enough.
Because like things will like come up in my life and I'm like, I really don't like doing this, but like, you know, I gotta still keep doing it. And then like eventually like it'll become like something that is numb to you. And like it's like, okay, it's pretty easy. So then you just keep going in life, and then something else will pop up. You just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
That's kind of my theme for the year, remember?
Maybe for real.
The drill, remember? Because the song shuffle thing I did with like I feel like I told you about this, didn't I?
Oh yeah, you told me, but like
I put it on shuffle, and like whatever song it chooses for the year is like my song for the year. And it'll like the lyrics will describe like how my year's gonna go. And like the song that popped up was the Gurren Lagann opening. And like the whole entire show of Gurren Lagann is like breaking past like all the things that hold you back and like that whole sort of thing. It's like it's crazy how everything's already flowing together and it's only February. But yeah, I know. Do you guys have any like situations in life that you feel matured you? Like, I mean, alright, I got one. Kobe, you already know. Well, both of you already know, but Kobe, you were there to witness it. Like that whole thing. I'm not gonna mention her name, but
What?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Let's just say there's this girl that I liked.
Oh. Okay.
And like I was super naive, and like I didn't even know why.
I'm mature as you, bud.
What?
I'm mature as you.
Nah, she mature. She was. Nah, but like I don't know. I feel like everybody needs like their first heartbreak kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cause that I feel like that's not one of the, that wouldn't mature you instantly, but it's like it leads you down like the right path, you know. But like I was super naive. I would like believe anything. Like I was that friendly, happy-go-lucky. Like this was pre-trauma, James. You know, that isn't how you said it, Jonathan. What did you said? It was like last Monday.
John, yeah, what was it?
I'm about to say what? When did we say that?
You were like Unbroken James or something.
Yeah,
this was pre-trauma.
Damaged James.
Yeah, this was before Damaged James. This was like Fixed James.
Yeah.
Like I was happy. Like everything was cool. Everything was popping.
Right.
You know? I didn't have a worry in the world. Like I was in fairy tale land. You know. And then yeah, I guess like I'm not gonna go into the details and all that, but like I was in this mindset like that if I just tried my hardest, like things would work out for me. Like I had that anime protagonist kind of mindset where I was like, all right, like things didn't work out. All I can do is like try again. Like even growing up, I had that mentality. Like I remember I was learning how to skate backwards. I still can't do it. I can kind of do it, but very slowly.
Yeah, I remember that.
But this dude, he showed up at the skating rink. He was 5.
Talking about rabies.
Yeah, and he was like, I was like, whoa, show me how to do that. And it was just us two. And he was like, stand here and practice this move 10,000 times. And I was like, all right. So like the move he wanted me to practice was like you grab onto the wall, and I was wearing like rollerblades. And like you push off from the wall to get comfortable going backwards, and like you gotta turn like as you're going backwards, and like he wanted me to do that over and over, and I kept doing that, and like I fell like every like what 4th time I tried it, and like every time I fell, I'm glad nobody else was there, but like every time I fell, like I'd hit like the concrete. I was like, no, I gotta get up, I can do this. Like if I just keep trying, I'll do it, I'll win, and I still can't.
Dang.
I still can't do it. So I've always been that kind of person, and I guess I still kind of am, but I'm also kind of not now, because I kind of recognize reality for what it is, but I don't let reality, you know, dictate who I become.
Yeah.
I guess, and to me, that's maturity. So do you guys have like situations in life that have matured you, or you recognize like have matured you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, I would say also, yeah, going along with, like, the first, like, heartbreak kind of thing. I mean, specifically with me, it was, like, it was this, it was admitting that, like, to myself that maybe I don't understand this person as much as I thought. Because what would happen is, you know, I would be, like, they would, like, you know, kind of tell me some issues they were having, and I'd be like, oh, no, dude, I totally understand. But it's just, like, I was saying that, like, all the time, and I was trying to be, like, nice and understanding about it, but it was just, like, I don't really understand, and, like,
I don't. Bro.
I shouldn't just be, like, saying that, like, it was weird. It was just, like, such a, I don't know, it was dumb. like, I thought I was being mature, because I was being like, oh, no, I'm so understanding, and, but,
wow.
you know, just being, like, understanding, like, at face value, you kind of have to weigh it, like, what's also good for you, like, because that's what a relationship is, you know. You're not just gonna be like,
it's two people in a relationship.
Yeah, it's a two-way street, of course. So you're not just gonna be like, oh, I'll take care of all your problems.
Of course you care for the other person, but there's also you in that.
And like, you know, I would, like, you know, talk to them about, like, issues I was having, but it always just seemed to take a backseat to, like, what they're bearing had on it, and it never became anything too serious, you know. And I did take it really serious at the time, but, like, looking back, it's just like, that was so, like, dumb. But it was just the most important thing in my life at the time, it seemed like. And
I look back on some of the stuff that I didn't, like, used to do in the past, and, like, it's happening less now. But, like, before, I would, like, physically cringe.
Yeah.
Like, why did I do that? Why did I text that? Why did I say that? Mm-hmm. Like, that whole sort of thing. You got anything, Kobe?
Oh, yeah. I was just waiting for you. I was thinking about it, too. Honestly, I don't really think... it seems like from y'all's story, you're talking about, like, more, like, love maturity. Just, like, stuff like that.
I mean, I kind of calculated that into...
Well, I know, like, I know it went deeper than what you were saying. But, like, they were still kind of, like, the same.
Yeah. It's on the same lines.
For me, I don't know. Kind of, like, tying off with that, too. I think, like, as far as, like, girls-wise or, like, things like that, I don't think I've ever, like, still matured from that still. I don't know. I haven't really, like, hit anything, like, super deep.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, I don't think I've ever, like, been in, like, a big altercation where, like, I, like, put myself too deep in where, like, I regretted it or, like, got actually in a relationship. Because, like, for me, I think I was, I don't know. For me, like, every time, like, it comes to, like, a girl, like, talking to me or something, like, usually, like, she'll, like, talk to me, and then, like, it'll be, like, kind of a weird altercation. And then, like, I don't really, like, I think for me, I never really, like, had the courage to, like, make it something more. And I was always, like, afraid of, like, the response or, like, what she would say.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm still, like, that same way now. So, like, I still haven't, like, got to that point.
Well, I wouldn't say I've matured from, like, okay, wait.
I mean, there has been, like, there's been, like, like, a lot of, like, not, like, a lot, but, like, several, like, times where, like, I've been in a few, like, not relationships, but, like, conversations or, like, altercations with different girls that have, like, changed, like, the way I think or something.
Alright,
not, like, super deep, though.
Let me put it this way. Like, the baseline where I started out with, like, females is, like, down here. And, like,
I can see that.
Yours is, like, yours is, like, here. You know?
Bro, I mean, like,
no, I mean, like,
like no, you're describing it. Nobody can see it.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said down here, and then I said up here.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they could kind of assume. My hands are, like, 5 meters apart, if you can. That's not meters, but...
They gotta know, like, the full...
Yeah, I gotta quantify. Yeah, mine is, like, down here, and his is, like, up there.
Not.
No, because, like, I started out... I don't want to use the word simp either, but I don't know.
That boy is simp.
Yeah, I don't want to use that word. But, like, I don't know. I feel like our life situations leading up to, like, those moments for us, like the moments where we did interact with girls, kind of changed how we interacted with them. Like I grew up alone, and, like, I didn't really understand, like, what it meant to, like, have friends, much less to, like, have a girlfriend or anything. Like, to get that level of, like, intimacy with anybody. So I never did.
Bro, this one time in high school for me, that was just like really weird and awkward.
Oh, we talking high school?
Yeah, it was in high school.
Oh, well, nah. Yeah, never. What am I thinking?
I'm talking
that
about...
did happen in high school.
Yeah, it did happen in high school.
It feels so long ago.
But this one time, I was like... I think I was a sophomore, actually. I don't know. It was a sophomore or a junior. But, like, this girl was older than me. She was, like, a grade above me. But, like, I guess, like, somehow through, like, different people, like, I found out that she liked me. I'm like, I don't even know. She actually kind of looked good. I didn't even know who she was.
Yes,
like, I didn't even know exactly. Like, she, like, told me she liked me or something. And, like, I guess, like, one of her guy friends, which is not a good idea.
No.
If a girl likes you and, like, you're trying to tell, and, like, you get your guy friend to tell the other dude, that automatically, like, makes me assume that, like, y'all two, like, are more than friends.
Yeah.
So I was like, bruh, come on. So, like, I guess she wanted to sit at lunch together or something. So, like, I went to go sit, like, over there with her. And, like, it was super awkward because I didn't even know who she was. Like, I didn't even look at her the whole time. And then, like, it was just, like, weird conversations. And, like, she looked kind of, like, mad the whole time. Like, she didn't even... She looked like one of those type of girls who were, like, mean or something. So I was like, this is really weird. I didn't really vibe with it. And then, like, the guy friend was, like, sitting next to her, too. It's like, it was even more weird.
Yeah, that is really weird.
Because, like, they had stuff to talk about, and then I was, like...
You were just kind of there.
I just, like, inputted one thing and be like, oh, so y'all did that or something? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, okay.
That's really... Like, that's awkward.
And then, like, that one time I sat at the table, like, it was just super awkward. And then, like, the next day, like, I didn't know what to do. Because, like, they were sitting in the same spot, and I just walked past them. I didn't sit there again. But, like, I knew, like, I don't know, it was really weird. No, like, what made it even more weird is that, like, my senior year, like, we had, like, the same class. No, my junior year, we had the same class. It was in Spanish. And, like, she was in that class. And, like, she was, like, sitting way in front of me or something. And I didn't talk to her, like, the whole semester.
Bro. I'm gonna have to reassess the levels. I'm up here and... Nah, just kidding.
No, but actually thinking about it, like, it's weird that... Because where that relationship kind of stuff happened, it was, like, right when I was entering college. Yeah. So, like... Same. I had, like, this kind of, like, depression... that tainted my entire, like, start of college experience.
Tainted.
I like that word, yeah.
It was like, I mean, because that was the most important thing on my mind. And it's like, meanwhile, I'm supposed to be, like, you know, like, starting my life. And it was just like...
Like, you should be there.
It kept me down. Like, I just, like... I don't know.
I feel that.
It sucks, but, I mean, I guess that's just kind of what life... You know, life just happens to have that stuff sometimes.
I will. Oh, go ahead.
I think for me, like, I don't know. I guess like I never reached the point of like confrontationalism, where like I can just like confront something that I like want and like talk to somebody and like have the courage. And then like what happened to me recently, it was like a weird altercation. Like this one girl, like she's like younger than me. I think James knows who she is. Like, I, like, brought her to church a few times. Yeah, well, like, she would, like, FaceTime me, like, every single night. Like, all the time. Like, I was like, all right.
Yeah, my boy.
Like, I was like, okay. Like, or I guess we're talking or something.
Dang.
I didn't know, like, I just thought we were, like, friends. But, like, every now and then, I don't want to, like, say all the details. Like, because it's, like, kind of weird. But, like, she would, like, hint at, like, trying to come to my house or something. Like, I knew she, like, probably wanted more or something. But I was like, There was, like, a temptation to, like, kind of, like, tap into that. Because, like, obviously, who wouldn't want to
Give in, Kobe.
I thought about it, like, a ton of times. Like, I talked to Pastor Jeff about this, too. I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Interesting.
So then, like, I don't know. I guess, like, after like, coming to the mindset where, like, I wasn't going to, like, try to do that, like, our conversations kind of, like, became more dull, I guess. And, like, I wouldn't, like, kind of, like, entertain her.
You didn't feed into it, yeah.
So then, like, I guess, as... You know, time went on. Like she just stopped calling less. Like every now and then she'll like text or something. But like now, like we don't really talk anymore. So I think I think that was kind of a good idea. Well, I think it worked out for the best.
Since we're talking about like a transition from like that sort of like I never got into like the whole relationship phase. It was more of like the crush kind of phase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it was like a like I got out of that. I remember coming out of that, and, like, I had that depression you talked about, Jonathan. But, like, I started finding all those videos on the internet where it's like, you want to be a Sigma male? You want to play? You want to play women? No. They're like, it'd be like random dudes on TikTok.
Yeah.
Bro,
It'd be like 5 ways to flirt with females confidently.
I've actually watched.
And I was like, what the? I mean, free advice. And then
I've watched those.
I'm like, okay. I guess. I mean, who ignores free advice, right?
I've actually,
And like, now that I look back on it, it's another one of those. Well, I never tried any of this stuff. Like, I learned there.
The one I watched, it actually seemed like pretty good. Like this one dude was talking about like how like he was talking about like how he's like constantly getting like these female models and stuff. I was like, how is this man doing this? He was like, it's all about, you know, tapping into the woman's mindset. He was like, they love the fantasy, man. Like they love a story or something like that. And I was like, dang, this man's going
I got
deep.
a story.
But like,
No,
obviously,
that sucks,
like,
I do not like that.
No.
like obviously, at like how every other person is, like he would like leave it on a tangent, and like he didn't like completely explain like how he did it. He was like, if you want to know more, buy my program for like $100.
Come on.
I'm like, bro, no, I'm not spending money for you to teach me that, bro.
Man, I heard this joke about this dude who read he was like, I read the 48 Laws of Power too fast and now I'm unstoppable. It was something like that. He was like, I'm unstoppable. But like,
you're not unstoppable.
I remember
He's
I
probably
read...
sitting in his room sad.
I still see the shadows. But I remember I read like the 48 Laws of Power and the Art of Seduction, all that sort of stuff. Like just for fun, you know, just playing it out. You know, I wasn't gonna try anything. But like I learned for some, like I don't know how I figured this out, but like none of that stuff like ever helped me, I think. Like I guess recently, like I feel like I've gotten into like my own space where like I kind of don't care about that, but like because I don't care about it, I feel like I'm more confident in myself, and like if I wanted to like get in, I could. But like I don't know, it's less of like, I feel like once you mature a little bit, love isn't something you try super hard to find. Like you can try to find it, but it's not like your main purpose or your main goal.
Yeah.
But it definitely is something that can enhance your life. We should probably move on from love because that's not what this one was put.
That's not what it is.
Dang.
Even though it isn't.
That's not maturity, but that was the emotional, relational kind of aspect of maturity. Yeah. So what about? Okay.
We can get into like work. Like,
like physical stuff.
What kind of like work is kind of.
Well, there's a lot for that. There's a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, my first job was. I remember. Like I remember like being in high school. Like my dad, obviously like dads are like the main ones who kind of like push you to mature physically wise. So like my dad, he's always like been working all the time. So like he definitely pushed that onto me too. So it was like, yeah, you need to get a job, son, soon. That mixed up. You need to get a job soon, son.
Wait, what did you say?
I said
you need to get a son soon job.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What
the freak? What's wrong?
You need to get a son soon job.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Well, yeah,
Hey,
that's
no
what my
way.
dad told me. So I was like, okay, I guess I need to get a job. But I didn't like take it that seriously. But then he like just kept like saying it. I was like, I need to make my dad proud. Come on, I gotta find a job. I actually remember like you helped me like search for jobs. Like I like went on my bike.
I did.
Yeah, like my dad said like.
I did.
Yeah. So like since we were in the same neighborhood, like right down the street was like this place called Greek Village.
Oh yeah.
And like you
yeah,
were there
we
too.
Go over there.
Like we were eating at Subway, I think, and then we were like, hey, I was like, hey, I need to go over here.
Apply there, yeah.
So like I applied there.
I was there.
Yep, and Greek Village was my first job, and that place sucks.
Washing dishes.
I got paid like $7.25 or something, just washing dishes in the back, no human interaction, and like it was kind of dirty too, like it was very small. Then like
what if Greek Village is listening to this?
Oh well, like, that manager,
that's maturity right there.
That manager was nice, but like that place is not it. Like if you're trying to get a job, there's so many more places you can go where you work less and get paid more. And that's exactly what I found. Like after that place, like what happened was I was working at Greek Village, and then like I guess like I talked to Kyle, and he was telling me like how the golf club was. So then I went to this place called Southern Landings Golf Club, and I worked there a little bit, and then like I had that place and that place at the same time, and then I went to Hobby Lobby. And for some reason, like at that point, I had like 3 jobs for some reason. So I didn't like tell the people. I didn't like drop it. So then like I was like trying to hop around these 3 places, and then I just stopped showing up for Greek Village. And I like told them like I was done. I don't even remember like how I did it, but like then like I just made Hobby Lobby my only place. So then like after working at Hobby Lobby a little bit, like when it, like the manager was like, hey, if you have any friends, like let us know. So I was like, hey James. Like I texted James and I was like in my mind I was like, James probably isn't gonna work here, but I'll like give it a chance. And I like told him about it, and like somehow like James got the job there.
What do you mean somehow James got the job?
Not like somehow, but
dang, Cole, what are you trying to say?
Not somehow, but like yeah, I was surprised. That's what I meant to say. Like,
there we go.
Surprisingly, like James actually like applied and like.
That's even worse. You tried to make it better. Nah, I surprised myself with that one too. Hobby Lobby was wild.
It was actually very fun though. Like it's something I would never forget. Like,
I won't forget it. I won't forget it. The stories that the dude told about getting struck by lightning in Japan. Bro, there was so many
weird people there, bro.
Like we had to mop the floors with wax.
Bro, that was like the way Hobby Lobby works is like basically in the back. Like all we do, since like Hobby Lobby is, what is it? I guess like a
art craft store.
It's an art, yeah. I guess you
hobby store.
So basically, like we're on the back. We're unloading all these pallets and like unloading. Yeah.
Pallets.
So remember that word, pallets. So like we're unloading pallets and then we have to like organize all this stuff, open up boxes. Basically, all we're doing is open up cardboard boxes all day. And like we can't just leave the cardboard box. So like what we do after we open it is like there's a cardboard crusher too. And like we're just crushing boxes, opening them up, putting stuff on pallets.
Our knives, I would like.
And like the bad part about it,
like,
and the thing about it though is like each of these things, like pallets. You remember that keyword? Each of these pallets is like stacked high, bro. Like those things are like. What, 10 feet high?
Yeah, with like boxes tumbling off.
And like it's not just one pallet. This is like 10.
No, we had to do 20.
And like what the thing is like the manager will come back there to me and James and like we're midway work and he's like, yeah, so today guys, that's what his voice is like. You gotta finish 16 pallets. And like it already takes you like freaking an hour to finish one.
Yeah.
We're like, dang.
I work here 8 hours. You want to do 16?
And then like on Wednesdays, since we like help with the church, he'd be like, yeah, you're not leaving if you didn't finish the 16.
20 pallets.
So like we'd be like stand there later and we only finished like 4 of them. And he like just came in and he was like, yeah, you got 10 more. We're like, what the frick?
What do you mean?
Bro, you're not finishing this by that time.
Nah.
No.
Man, those ladders were dangerous too because we had to put the stuff on the top shelf.
Yeah, they were.
Like the days we had to do the stuff on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, that was... Wait, what does this have to do with maturity?
Because it's one of the jobs that we had.
Oh yeah. How did that mature me? I don't know. I don't think it did. Wait a minute.
That was your first job.
I learned that work is hard.
It is, yeah. That's probably
I think... No, like for real, I think that's...
That was the most chill job I had.
No, I mean, I feel... Okay. On a real note, I don't think I learned, like... I don't know. I guess I learned what it's like to, like... have a job, like clock in, do all that sort of stuff. Like it didn't teach me anything crazy because my mom already, let me, volunteered growing up every chance I could and all that. So
you can definitely tell people who have never worked whenever they work at a place. And from the people who actually have done work, it's like common things like sweeping. Like you'll just have like this one random person at your work. Like you can tell by the way they're sweeping. I'm like, have you ever swept the floor? Like, what are you doing? You don't like some people
sweep.
Like some people will like keep the dustpan with them and sweep the entire big floor. But what you're supposed to do is sweep all the trash to one pile and then sweep it up. I'm like, bro, you can't. You're gonna take forever to do that. There was a girl that at a place that I worked. She did it like that. I was like, just stuff like that. But like, it was really cool working at Hobby Lobby together because like we would like stack stuff up on the shelves, organize it up, and then like there was a few times like I like carried out a Christmas tree for like different people. And, like me and James had this one thing we were like talking about. We like came up with this term, artistic women.
No, you came up with the term artistic women.
I did.
I wasn't part of this.
Because I swear like
that was all you.
Because like 90% of the customers in Hobby Lobby were just like women in there, and like they were
They were beautiful and artistic.
It was some fine women every single day. Like every day.
The boy would run out there. Yeah, just
wait. There's already a term for this.
What's the term?
There is?
Yeah, like the art girls.
Artistic women?
Yeah, it's like...
I didn't even know about that. I just came up with it. See, our minds are connected.
They call them like art hoes.
Oh, no, I know that. I know that one. Yeah. Okay.
Is that the same thing, or y'all talking about something entirely different?
Wait. I think there's a difference.
It's okay.
Big difference.
They're more like alternative kind of.
Oh yeah, no, these weren't like
I got
alternative
you.
kinda. Yeah.
Way different.
They're very proper, you know.
Oh.
For me, after Hobby Lobby, I did like some construction stuff and like pool work, and that junk actually kind of sucked, but then it was actually kind of cool at the same time. What sucked was like one day we had to like build like a whole fence around somebody's yard, and it's not just a chain fence; it was a metal one. So like I had to use like these freaking pole grabbers, and it's like summer too, so like it's like boiling hot outside. Like I have to like use these pole grabbers, like dig in the dirt, and like the dirt's not even freaking soft. It's like that clay stuff. Like it was like extremely hard. I would like carry all these poles, like nail the fences. That junk sucked. But like what was cool about it was like the boss would like like let us take a break whenever we wanted. But like obviously since the whole day, like I'm not like doing stuff the whole entire time. I'm not gonna like try to sit around. So like I would like try to work as hard as I could. But like he would also like bring us snacks and pay for our lunch. So it was cool. And then like it wasn't like taxed income either. So like we would like get our money under the table. And, like he like paid me extra. He like pays you extra depending on like how hard you work too. Like he like told me like I was like one of his hardest working people. Like he would like pay me extra money. I was like, dang, thanks bro. I like this place.
Nice.
But then I was like, I can't work here anymore because I was starting school. And then I went to Chick-fil-A, and now that's where I'm at now. And it's like one of the best places I worked at.
Hey. What about you, John?
Yeah, so I started work the summer after my junior year of high school. Was my first job, and it's actually my current job also. But I went to a wire factory to work. It's really boring. You just kind of stand there and you plug wires into little plastic pieces all day. It was especially bad that time because the place I was working like had no variety. That was the only task. Now I have a lot more variety in what I do. But it was just standing there, and you don't have like a chair or anything. You just have to stand up all day and plug the same part over and over.
Yeah.
It sucked, and
no, I believe you.
It definitely
wholehearted.
I don't even know if I like learned anything from it. Because honestly, like, I've always been pretty good about like when it's like doing like physical work at least, like just kind of getting in there and being like, all right, let's do this jump. But like, so yeah, I didn't feel like I had like gained like a new skill or something.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is how you make money, huh?
So
what is actually one of the worst ways to make money?
What before we end it, what is I guess we can do one. What is the best lesson about maturity that college has shown you? Like if you could tell one story, from college. Not even a story, just one thing you learned in college.
I would say don't.
That helped you mature.
Dang. There's probably not nothing too deep I can say or like amazing. I would just say don't try to like rush things too fast. Because like as soon as like you hit that age where like you're in college, like you automatically, for me, like I automatically wanted to try to like do everything by myself. And like I wanted to like rush into like doing things for myself, I guess. Not all the time, but like some things, I guess. I would say take your time doing that kind of stuff, and like still ask for help from family, and like just I don't know, just have fun being the age you are, and like enjoy the time that you're, enjoy the things and the time that's happening right now.
Yeah. Don't rush to be mature.
Yeah, don't rush.
It'll come. It will come.
Yeah. I'll just say pay attention to your like emotional and mental health, because if you're not in order like in that way, everything else is gonna be worse.
Very true.
Like,
yeah. No,
it makes everything worse. Like
that's true.
You can't pour things. You can't pour out of yourself if like you're constantly empty inside, I guess.
Right.
That's something else. Yeah.
Well, also just like with doing work and stuff, like
that's true.
You don't want to do your schoolwork or whatever if you're like.
That's me right now.
So yeah, just make sure you make sure you're mentally healthy, I guess. I don't know.
No,
that's kind of hard to do also.
I think I might need to like check myself on that more now.
Yeah, I've been considering, cause like I write music a lot, so like I have to like analyze like my internal state. That's where I find like a lot of inspiration. And like I wrote this song that like talks about like all the stuff I went through in the past, and like you know how there's like different like disorders and all that sort of stuff. I was like listing them out like in song form, like kind of. Well, it wasn't like me singing like in song form, but it was like I was trying to describe like myself through like all these disorders. That like I might think that I've like developed growing up, and like I got through writing that song and I was like, dang, I might need therapy. Like what the heck? Like I am messed up. That was so don't be afraid to like, if you need help, get help.
Right.
Like you don't have to like act tough just because you're older, or like try to carry yourself a certain way because you're older. Like it's stressful. I know, like getting older is stressful. And there's a lot more responsibility and weight, and with that weight comes pressure and stress. So yeah, I heavily agree with you on that. Take care of yourself, mentally and physically.
I would say definitely like like during times of maturing for like our age now. Like obviously there's gonna be times where like you're alone all the time, but like I would say don't cling to that too. Like you should definitely like have a group of people, like to always like, you know, just to be able to hang out with like every now and then. Like I would say, it's kind of dangerous for you to like constantly always be alone.
Yeah, that was gonna be my whole thing from college, is that like, I always grew up alone, but like, just don't waste like the chances you have now because you're worried about the future, or where you messed up in the past, or how you look in the present, because you're gonna look back on it and you're gonna be like, wow, I really missed out on that. Because like I let the future worry me or the past worry me. Like if you want to talk to somebody in college, go up and talk to them. Odds are they want you to talk to them, unless you're like weird or like doing it in a weird way. But yeah, I mean, odds are like I found out like people don't care as much as you think they do.
Yeah.
Like most people would be overjoyed if like you came up and talked to them. And a lot of the stuff that a lot of the reason we suffer is because of ourselves, like our own minds. Like we generate a lot of the anxiety we feel and like all that. That's like a product of like ourselves. So, and I'm not saying you can get rid of that instantly. Like it's not like a snap instant fix. Here's a Sigma male course that you can take and you're free of all of it. I'm not saying that. But maturity is learning that you live with these things, and it's okay. You may not ever overcome it. I believe you can. It's gonna be difficult. Like it's being able to push past that. And like I already mentioned this, but as an adolescent, like as a younger person, I had a tendency to wallow in like my like
failure.
Yeah. Like the bad things in life. I let those consume me. But like now it's kind of like, okay, those happened. Those aren't necessary. I consider them bad. But maybe, like, that was just me being in my head too much. Like, maybe those experiences weren't as bad as I made them out to be.
I would say I'm definitely in a time of that now. Because, like, I don't feel like me in high school, like, I was, like, okay. I was, like, chilling every day. And, like, I would, like, do good in school. Like, you know, keep A's. Like, my GPA stayed pretty good. And then, like, once I hit college, like my determination and like my mentality just like completely like switched up, and like my grades dropped, like my GPA's lowered, and then like now I'm like at a different school, and like all those failures in my head, like it like lowered who I was personally. Like every day, like constantly, like I'm always like trying to work hard, and it really doesn't happen. Like I'm like trying to tell myself I need to do my homework, I need to like
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like tell myself like I need to fix these things, and like I get stuck in my head with like all the things I've like failed at. Like I would say like, even I would say like, you know, it is good to like work harder and like keep trying to work hard, but like don't let those failures get like stay in your head and like define who you are. So I don't know, sometimes, you know, maybe just be okay with yourself not being too good at things anymore, and like, you know, just thrive with who you are now.
You are you, no more, no less.
Yep. I definitely had to think about that a lot.
Yeah. I shared this, and we'll go and close with this, but I shared this quote with Kobe like 2 nights ago, but what was it? A beginner's cup overflows.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
A novice's cup is calm. but a master's cup is empty. And like a lot of the times, like I would allow like my head to overflow with like all these crazy things, like all these crazy like depressing thoughts, and like I was constantly worried about what people were saying about, like my mind was a mess. Like I crammed it so full that like I didn't have a sense of self. I didn't have anything. I felt like I was constantly spilling out. And then I kind of learned to calm down, like kind of bring it in, you know, like focus on what's important. And I haven't reached like that emptiness stage where like I'm just myself. But hopefully one day I'll get there.
Nice.
Thanks.
Good quote.
Yeah, I found it in a manhwa.
Awesome.
That's where I get a lot of inspiration. But yeah, closing comments. You guys got anything?
No, I'll say enjoy the moment, I guess. But at the same time, think about your future.
In the past
They go hand
is
in
a
hand.
present.
Yep. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's a mystery. But today is a gift. That's what they call it, a present.
Whoa. John, what you got?
Top of that.
What's your quote?
Okay.
What's your beat that? What's your quote, Jonathan?
Thank you, Master Uguay. Thank you, Master Uguay.
Hey, that should have been your senior quote.
I mean, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, dang, I'm like talking about.
Whoa, so simple.
What are we talking about?
Any final words? Anything you want to end on?
Man, not really. I don't care.
And that too is a
No,
maturity
it's
from maturity in itself.
Real.
You know? Anyways,
Ooh, anyway.
way to end the podcast on maturity.
He went completely the other way.
Wow.
I don't know.
You
I don't
subverted
care.
expectations.
I don't know. I don't care, booty.
Yeah.
They're like turn.
And
It's like a
that's
hard
maturity.
turn.
A
I
hard
don't know.
180.
Left.
Yeah.
I don't care. Other way, booty. Just
Completely subverted my
like
expectations.
it's just turn every other way. Like,
Well
That's all there
done.
is to it.
Well,
that's exactly what life's like.
That's what you're supposed to do in life. What do you
Like, you know, sometimes you don't care what booty.
Life is no, that's no, that's just you. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. That's not me. It's been NoDream and Kobe Bland. Just kidding. If you
Jonathan said that.
if you guys enjoy the podcast, make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you know where the INSTAs are. They're down the bio as they always are. And remember, guys, we got NoDream.
What the one drain.
Praise the Lord, King.
Bye, guys.